Hello and welcome to the semifinals here at Grand Prix Omaha. You are with Brian, David, Marshall, Sutcliffe for the semifinal action, and we are watching Pascal Menard. There you see him leading off with Delver of Secrets. He's playing against Stefan Speck, playing Amulet Bloom. Teleria West was the opening play for Speck. Looks like Speck's, oh no, Serum Visions. I thought maybe he'd have the Amulet of Vigor there.
So a good start here from Maynard. He's got his signature card here, Blue-Red Delver. This is Delver of Secrets. If this thing flips at the earliest convenience, it's just going to put a huge clock on Stephen Speck and really limit his options. And Pascal Maynard picks it up very quickly. He has pulled it aside, assuming it's not going to flip it.
Very hard for Menard to not have a turn one play, 12 creatures.
He's deciding if he wants to Thought Scour away that top card. It wasn't an instant or sorcery, so he doesn't get to flip his Delver here. If it's a land that he doesn't need, he can actually just play Thought Scour. The question is, what else is he doing this turn? And it looks like nothing else, so he might just want to do that.
Cast Thought Scour.
So let's see, was it a land? Yeah, it was just a Scalding Tarn. This is still during his upkeep.
Oh, he gets a Treasure Cruise out of. He has a Treasure Cruise for his efforts. Pretty good.
Wow, and he drew a Spell Snare too. So if there's a 2-drop for Stephen Speck, like
Summer Bloom. Summer Bloom's the big 2-drop for him in that deck.
Yeah, wow, that was a nice sequence there for Menard. He got rid of lands he didn't want, filled up his yard, drew a Treasure Cruise, and has a counterspell. So
right
now he has to consider here. Oh, he's got a Goblin Guide as well. So he's decided that it's better for that to happen. Primeval Titan sitting on top of the library for Stephen Speck.
Gets him for 3. Now this could be a window. I mean, this is where you could see Speck do some really gross stuff. He can go, tap my land, Amulet of Vigor, play a Karoo, untap it, return it to my hand, play Summer Bloom. He's not going to do that. That's not what. That's not. Oh wait, he is casting Summer Bloom.
Uh-oh. Pascal might be kicking himself here if Stephen Speck just goes off.
So he's like, okay, that's land. That's my one extra land drop. It's a Golgari Rot Farm. So he's played 2 lands. 3 lands, plays a Glimmer Post. Gains a little life. Frustrating, no doubt, for Pascal Menard, who's really just like, trying to just deal 20 and then replays the Teleria West. So jumps himself to 4 mana on turn 2.
5 mana, right?
Oh yeah, 5 mana. That's a Golgari Rot Farm.
Pretty good turn.
That is a pretty
when your
good
opponent's
turn.
holding a Spell Snare. All right, but in other news, that Delver flipped. And crunch for 5 here for Menard.
Delver flipped, land in hand for Stefan Speck off of the Goblin Guide. It looked like he got a Gruul Turf for free. Just sweet.
That's nice. One thing that Menard does know about is the Primeval Titan that Stephen drew, which he's now just 1 mana away from casting.
Trading for some chocolates for him because I owe some chocolate.
You see some of the cards in hand for Pascal Menard. You're like, oh, that's a pretty nice pillar.
These don't do exactly what he wants. He cannot Treasure Cruise at the moment. If he had a fetch land, he could.
Yeah.
She might. Menard's doing math here. He knows he needs to kill Stephen Speck ASAP. He just doesn't have, he's essentially gold fishing. Stephen is not going to mess with his creatures or counter his spells. He is just going to be able to, as fast as humanly possible, kill Stephen, and he needs to figure out the line that gets him there the quickest. He's doing a pretty good job. Insectal Aberration plus Goblin Guide makes short work of your life total, but he does have some burn spells, Pillar, Flame, Lightning Bolt, and he needs to make sure that he can get those out of his hand and at Stephen Speck's face in the most efficient manner possible without leaving the door.
Okay, passes the turn. He can Vapor Snag the Primeval Titan, I think.
It's true.
You're just saying, but that's...
He can do that.
I don't think...
He can't counter it. That's going to name Giant.
Yeah.
And it's Primeval Titan.
Primeval Titan. Okay? Does that resolve? Yes, it does.
So
I happen to know for a fact.
So it's going to resolve. The question is, what happens now? Steven can go find more Glimmer Post, bolster his life total.
Yeah, he has one more Glimmer Post in his deck.
He has 2 total.
Yeah.
Okay.
So.
All right. You can kind of see the back table there. Mark Calderero there on the left is our text writer, along with Adam Staborski here this weekend. You guys can find their writings.
So, yep, there's a Glimmer Post. There's a Simic Growth Chamber, which is going to return a Glimmer Post.
Also, Primeval Titan, pretty good blocker.
Yes. Yes, it is. And he's got a Pact of Negation in hand, by the way.
That he can actually pay for.
So he can actually pay for it. So he can just counter the Vapor Snag here.
Oh, he could do that. That would save him essentially 3 life. If he does that, it would cost him almost a turn, though.
It looked like he did not return.
But there was a Tendo Ice Bridge, I think.
Oh, it was a Tendo Ice Bridge, okay.
Yeah.
Pairing for round 2 of Team Trio going up on the top board. Pairing for round
So there's the Vapor Snag.
I'm curious to see
What
how
will he
Steven
do?
does this. I mean, generally you don't care, but Steven's going to be hyper aware, of his life total here. This effectively saves him 3 life and also keeps his Primeval Titan ready to rumble next turn.
Pascal's like, oh, can you pay for it? He's like, I can guarantee you that I can pay for that.
Yes.
I can tap 3 lands and pay for it.
Well, Pascal wishes he had a Spell Pierce here, but he doesn't.
Yeah, those are in the sideboard. They come in for game 2. And you see the die reminder goes on top of the deck.
And here's a bolt to the face.
Right, because Stefan Speck has to pay 5 mana during his upkeep for the pact or lose the game. Blood Moon would be pretty ridiculous right here.
Blood Moon.
There are no Blood Moons coming.
That
It
would have
just
been
be
awesome.
pretty ridiculous.
Super Sunday Series standard players, please find your pairs. They are scrolling as well.
Okay, Serum Visions. That's a Treasure Cruise.
So that's the second cruise in his hand.
Yes. Yeah, he already had one he could cast this turn. So he's like, I would like to draw this card this turn. Yep. Exiles his graveyard to pay for the Treasure Cruise. Spell costs 8, but it has Delve, so you can remove 7 cards from your graveyard. Just in case you haven't been watching all day and seen that repeatedly. You know, I mean, it's one of the cards, even when that card has not been in the feature match, in a match, you see even in the other decks the presence of the card. You know, the main deck Relic of Progenitus that we're watching in the red-green Tron deck,
Yes.
you know, is certainly there to sort of chip away at what Treasure Cruise does.
And
Poke a hole in the hull, as it were.
and incidental Tarmogoyfs are like, come on.
Well, the Tarmogoyfs have already been come on because of the Treasure Cruises.
It's true.
There's not a lot of Teamer Delver going on. Okay. 1 mana here. And there's the Amulet of Vigor. So Amulet of Vigor says whenever a permanent would come into play under your control tapped, untap it. Pretty simple. It's a sweet card.
You're going to see that here.
That means the lands that come into play from the Primeval Titan, which are going to enter play tapped, are going to untap.
Steven's going to have a billion mana here for sure.
So that's Vesuva. That's Simic Growth Chamber.
Yeah, I think he's going to copy Glimmer
He's
Void
gonna,
here.
yeah. Glimmer Post.
A Glimmer Post, right?
Yeah.
Sorry.
They untap before with the Return of Land ability still on the stack.
See his Summoner's Pact in Steven's hand.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's going to return, actually going to return the Teleria West so he can transmute it. So I don't know what the Vesuva ended up copying.
Well, I think it did copy the Glimmer Post.
Oh, Glimmer Post,
he went
yeah.
back up to 12.
Okay, there you go. So now play a land. There's the Gruul Turf.
How fun is this?
Tap 6.
Summoner Pact.
So he's 6 mana and Summoner's Pact for another Primeval Titan.
Right.
He's going to play the Primeval Titan. Gets Slayer's Stronghold. And
Sunhome.
Sunhome Fortress.
So I guess he's just setting
Sunhome
up
Fortress of the Legion, yeah.
just setting it up for next turn. So the question is, can Menard do 12 here? It's a sigh of relief for Steven.
So Thought
As it's
Scour,
just a Thought
past
Scour
two,
and
yeah,
not
Thought Scour
a Vapor Snake.
past 2 Goblin Guides. He's like, what do you got? He's like, I got a bunch of lands.
It doesn't feel like Menard's going to be able to kill him here. He's got 3 damage guaranteed on board, but he needs a lot more than that. And he's going to be under siege here from 2 lethal Primeval Titans next turn if he can't kill Steven.
Sacks a fetch land. I think he was making sure he could actually successfully sack it. He can.
Gonna go for a cruise here.
Yeah.
I guess he just needs to find 3
Can he
lightning
go bolt,
bolts.
bolt, bolt?
Yeah, that's what he needs to do. And they have to be bolts too. They can't be pillars.
Well, Vapor Snag
Gets
is
in-
essentially a
is
bolt.
Is a bolt. So bolt, bolt, snag. There's snag. You go to 11. Virtual 6. Finds a Gruul Turf. And he doesn't have it. He's going to play
doesn't.
Young Pyromancer here.
Yeah.
But that should do it.
You got to pay for the Summoner's Pact.
Oh, yeah. That was close. He was going. He was going
That
diceless.
was Pascal's plan.
That was plan
That
A
was
for
his
Menard.
plan.
Was how many things can I cast this turn?
He's
got a dice
noticed,
I can
he's
borrow?
like, I noticed you didn't put a die on your top
Yeah.
of your deck. Maybe you'll forget.
Yeah. Well, Steven Speck was having none of it.
Oh my God, is there some kind of backup die you can have to make sure you put a die on top of your deck? Like,
No.
I need a
No,
backup die.
That's your only safety net. The 1 die sitting there.
Wow.
Wow. So Steven Speck with Amulet Bloom. You get a little smile there from Pascal. I like that. That's the right play.
Yeah.
If your out is having him forget his pack, do a bunch of
Yeah.
things. It just takes
Yeah.
longer.
We can't all be Kenji Samura.
That's right.
Kenji can afford to, go, no, make sure you pay for your pack. The rest of us, we got to take our free wins where they go.
The ones that are chanting 5, 5, 5.
So our back table match, that's John Patone playing against Eric Peters. That's Obzon Pod versus Merfolk. Not Siege Rhinos fighting against Mararegeries. Not exactly what we were picturing when we were envisioning this modern format. You see these guys, we're going to get a little look at what their game 1 looked like.
Well, that's a good start there
Yeah.
for Patone.
Well, good start from both of them, honestly. A turn
Yeah,
1
it's
bird
true.
is always what you're looking to do, right? Some turn 1 Mana Accelerator, ideally a turn 2 Pod or a turn 2 Kitchen Finks.
Still surprised that Merfolk made it to the top 8 here. It just hasn't done
I mean,
well.
I think you were right. I think it preyed on the blue-red Delver decks that have so many islands.
Could be.
That you
It
just
just feels like those decks can kill the the Merfolk so easy. Like all of their bolts are live against that.
You're a
deck.
great class spinner.
Yeah, it could have been it. That's a good point.
So Birthing Pod got spell pierced.
Oh yeah, that's a huge play there for Jonathan. You can see the power of Aether Vial here, letting him leave his mana up so that he can
Oh wow! And
develop his
Echoing
board.
Truth to bounce 2 Birds of Paradise.
Wow.
Phantasmal Image
I like a
copying
kitchen
Sphinx.
thing.
Yeah.
That's sweet. Also, if it dies, he gets to copy something else when it comes back, if maybe there's a better target.
Right. 3 mana, Mirror Rejury.
Yeah.
Kitchen Sphinx attacks.
Not a Merfolk, it turns out.
Yeah.
Still can attack.
Can't see
Path.
it.
No, it is Murderous Cut.
Okay. So Murderous cuts the Mirror Rejury.
That's kind of cool. I haven't seen too many Murderous Cuts
No.
yet here either.
There's a Wall of Roots. Oh.
Is that a scavenging?
That is a scavenging.
Wow, he just dumped his whole hand. Birds and walls of roots, everything.
Going up to 4. It's a Master of Waves.
Not too bad. Unfortunately, the Kitchen Sphinx doesn't help out much. So it's just the one.
Oh, and then he copies the
copied
Master
it.
with another
Wow.
Phantasmal
So he ends
Image.
up with 3 total, 1 and then 2. This is sweet.
Oh, but
They're
there's Birthing
huge
Pod.
too.
Pod probably into Red Cap? Or just into Siege Rhino?
So those are all 3/2s, right?
Yeah. No, just Siege Rhino, yeah.
Just Siege Rhino, says BDM.
Yeah.
Not impressed?
Ah,
Didn't do a pretty good job here. He needs the Lord of Atlantis to help start
He
piling
has a
in
Lord
some
of
of the
Atlantis.
damage. Ooh, that's a good start. It's going to get some damage in here with the Masters of Waves. They are Merfolk. Unfortunately, the sea ponies, as we call them, are not. Those are elementals, so they have to sit at home. But they're doing a good job of holding the ground game. So he just got both of them eaten? Oh no.
yeah, he attacked them.
He attacked him into the Siege Rhino plus another blocker?
Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh, that's terrible.
Yeah, Red Cap takes down
That's
the
really
Lord.
bad for Jonathan. He just lost his whole board there.
Yeah, he's pretty much
I think
down
we're
to
going to see a
nothing.
little Scoop City here.
Yeah, he's like, I just never had the opportunity. He shows him the spreading season.
You
He had the
know,
opportunity to get that spreading season to play.
You know, he might have also been saying, I thought I had played it.
Oh, no.
Like, because that attack makes a lot more sense.
Yes.
If you thought that those were unblockable.
All right, long weekend, lots of pressure.
Sure.
Lots of information compressed in your brain, opportunity for a misfire.
It does happen sometimes
Yeah.
to everybody.
You see the players get a chance to re-survey each other's deck lists. They're looking like, oh, let me just take a look at his sideboard again. Been talking a little bit with Ben as we watch Pascal, and talked a little bit with you, like operationally how Pascal plays the game.
Yeah, he's got some neat tricks.
Got some neat tricks. You know, every in between every game, shuffles his sideboard and main deck together. Pulls
As
out,
you should.
As you should. Keeps cards that his opponent has seen in his hand upside down, so he has that information without revealing what information he has back to his opponent.
Yep. I had never seen that until this weekend.
Yeah, you know what? Ben hadn't seen it either.
Yeah, I think that's pretty cool.
So here we are taking a live look in on game 2 here. Eric Peters of Obzon Pod is up a game, and he's in good shape here in game 2.
Yes.
He just resolved a turn 3 Siege Rhino.
Yeah, turn 2 Finks, turn 3 Rhino is pretty fantastic here in a sort of creature-based matchup.
You know what? We've been playing Magic for, 21 years. Turn 1 Birds, still really good.
Still very good.
Still really good.
Yes.
Just let you do stuff.
Yeah, we saw turn 1 Birds on camera earlier today, and guess what
Tidebinder
happened?
Mage.
It got bolted. Double Tidebinder Mage?
Yeah, he's like, I really want that lockdown.
Really? He doesn't want to lock down the Finks?
Or the Birds.
Or the Birds? Wow. That is the most...
No, it was the Phantasmal Image just copying the Siege Rhino.
That's a little more clear.
That
It
makes
looks like
more
the players
sense.
weren't quite clear on that either. But
It makes much more sense.
I think if Merfolk had access to a 2-mana Siege Rhino, they'd probably play that card. So now I see what you're saying here. All right, so that was a nice turn for Jonathan to help get himself back into the mix here.
Another bird.
Just a dumb bird.
Turn 4, turn 5 bird, not as impressive.
No, but this one's actually going to be a big bird after a little while. I see there's a Gavany Township on the battlefield there. So those birds actually get out of control pretty quickly, although it does take a little while. And these Merfolk decks are capable of piling on quite a bit of damage thanks to the Lord effect, where they play a Lord, maybe 2 Lords in one turn, and they pump their whole team twice. That can make blocks pretty awkward, and it can make a card like Gavany Township feel too slow.
Spreading seas on a Gavany Township seems pretty nice. Does he have it?
Oh, I like that. You might. That's nice. Oh man, a shameful Gavany Township gets turned face down.
Yeah. Go to the corner. Yeah, don't do that now, because that could be a manifest creature.
Yeah, no kidding. Block.
Don't put it face down.
Block with my Township. Okay, so what's the follow-up though for Jonathan? Nothing.
Some sort of... There's a Mirror Regery.
Oh, jeez.
And Siege Rhino attacks.
Yeah, seems good.
This looks like a murderous cut. Oh no.
Restoration Angel.
No.
Oh no. Yeah, the problem is that Resto can only target your creatures. So I don't think that Spellskite can redirect that to itself. I can certainly put the ability on the stack.
You can certainly pay 2 life if you would like to.
You can. I just, when it resolves, it won't be able to do it. And so now he's not only going to get Siege Rhino re-triggered, he's going to get to have the other Siege Rhino bounce off of it.
Wow.
I wonder if he considers blocking with the Kitchen Finks and the Rhino there. Trade a Kitchen Finks for a Rhino, and it's only half of a Finks?
Yeah, I would take that.
That seems... And maybe even just throw the... And just double block. I think a double block maybe would have been ideal there.
We're ready to go back down to our main match, though. Things are underway. See Goblin Guide doing its thing. It reveals a Summer Bloom off the top, which Stefan Speck then draws on his turn.
Ugh.
Glimmer Post.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
You see a Blood Moon there?
I do see a Blood Moon.
That could do some serious work against Steven Speck if it's able to hit the floor, especially since right now he's got his colorless land. It was actually upgrade his, his Glimmer Post to something that could produce mana. I don't think Steven Speck, I mean, does he have any basics? Like, his deck is so heavily land-based.
He has a Forest, he has City of Brass.
No, City of Brass doesn't count. He's got
No,
one
no,
forest.
Yeah,
He's got a solitary forest.
no, he has Seals of Primordium that he needs to get into play out of his sideboard. He needs to have those on the board to deal with Blood Moon. Once the Blood Moon resolves, it's an uphill battle.
It just seems like it would wreck him.
He's got exactly one forest after, that he can get.
At least he's left himself an out. All right.
That's very positive of you.
Yeah. Pascal is right on track for turn 3 Blood Moon against Steven Speck here in game 2.
He's like, "Ooh, what are you holding?"
Ooh. He
Wow.
can dump his hand here, though it's not going anywhere until he finds something with that Serum Visions. The best he can do is a Chalice this turn. The Amulet helps him power some of this stuff out, but it's not leading to anything at the moment. He doesn't get to play a Primeval Titan. He doesn't get to play a Hive Mind.
We'll find out exactly what he could do when Goblin Guide attacks.
Good point. That sounded like a show pitch.
Yeah.
When Goblin Guide attacks, and it's about to. If it's something sweet, this could be huge.
So Serum Visions. Keep digging. So Monastery Swift Spear pushes both cards. Here we go. It's a Pact of Negation.
Well, that's not what he wants.
Yeah, no, that's not something he's
Not
going
at
to be
all.
able to pay for.
No, he won't be able to pay for it, and it's just not great here. So he's just going to take this turn to get Amulet down.
So plays
no.
a Simic Growth Chamber.
Yeah, now he can
Now that
he can go off, but
yeah,
it's just
he
I don't know what
untaps
it's
it.
doing here.
Plays Summer Bloom.
Right.
And he gets 3 additional land
Summer
drops.
Bloom #1.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean this is going to be impressive, but it's kind of the steady climb to not a whole lot, I think.
Right.
So he's going to do that 3 times, so he's got 6 mana. And he can chain another one together if he wants, but
So he's saying, I'm going to end up with 4.
Chalice on 2, which is pretty cool, although I wonder if Pascal just has way more cards on 1. He's got a mana floating as well here, so he gets to use his Serum Visions.
So we know this is going to be...
I don't know what that is.
I'm saying we just know he's going to get stuck under the Blood Moon here.
Oh yeah. Big time. That other bloom is in his hand stuck as well. And this could just be it. Like, he's
Right.
going to get stuck under Blood Moon, and that Goblin Guide is going to wreck him. Like, that thing could do 18. It could do 19 damage here. I don't think
I
this
don't
Steven
think- I
Speck
don't
has
think he can
any
win.
way to win at this point.
He has to draw Forest and Seal of Primordium and something.
And he has a bunch of mountains that make him bounce around.
Okay, well,
Gets a
how about
Tolaria
Transmute? That doesn't do anything. He doesn't
No.
have blue mana. So
Well, he could Tolaria West. Oh, he doesn't have blue mana.
yeah,
Come on.
I know. Could get his Forest, but it's not going to happen. He draws Primeval Titan.
Yeah, I don't think that. I think that this is
This is not
this
going
is
to
just
turn
like
out well.
life support.
Does that still make him return, or is it a mountain at all times?
It's a mountain that comes into play tapped.
It's just tap mountain.
He does not
Okay.
have to return a land. Okay. Comes a Monastery Swift Spear.
And even a Delver of Secrets. It seems to be that there's nothing really.
Yeah.
He's going
He's
to
looked
start
at
off
the
with
list.
Serum Visions. He's probably going to just set up the Delver. If he can, if there's any instants or sorceries there. Even if he can't cast them, he might just set it up so the Delver flips. I mean, I think this is academic. I don't think that Steven can win. I don't think he can do anything. He doesn't have either the Forest or the Seal in his hand. So both of those need to happen. And even then, I don't know if he goes off. So
I'm also not sure. I mean, I guess he's thinking about sideboard cards like Smash to Smithereens on
Sure.
the.
I mean, they're in the semifinals. He's not. He has really no reason to concede. Just because he's going to lose the game, that doesn't necessarily mean that he shoots the scoop. Though I wouldn't expect it to take much longer.
Oh, he's at 11 already.
Yeah. Pascal's pretty methodical. Passing the turn with that Delver of Secrets. More lands off the top for Steven Speck. And his mono red deck. Sweet.
Untaps his mountain.
Another mountain.
4 red.
Mono red.
Now, I guess that wasn't flipping.
And he did not have that set up to flip. It probably doesn't matter though.
More land for you.
This is 5. He does need to find 1 more point of damage, but I'm pretty sure Pascal has a bolt in his hand, so
He does.
he'll just kill him next turn. And it looks like we're headed right for a game 3 here. He's gonna click.
Vendilion
And,
Click.
oh, here, talk about information. This is where you scoop. Oh, don't show him anything. All right, well, it's all the same stuff from game one anyway.
He's like, I'm not letting you draw another card. You can keep all that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, that's game.
GG.
So we go to game 3. Stefan Speck, Amulet Bloom, cannot function under Blood Moon. He needs to get that Seal of Primordium into play, assuming he brought them in. He may be bringing them in right now.
He sure as heck will now.
And he needs to get that into play ahead of the Blood Moon. Or needs to transmute for a basic forest at some point along the way. There's one basic forest. All right, this is the game we were watching earlier. And as you can see, so Merfolk play a Torpor Orb.
Oh, that's quite nice.
There's still an island, so things are island walking.
This looks pretty good for Jonathan. Torpor Orb puts a real wrecking ball on the pod plan.
Players, we need one more player for the final draft of the night. Final draft of the night starts when we get one more player.
We see that Baton is under some pressure here, maybe from the Restoration Angel. Can he afford to?
Is there a Gabony Township down there somewhere?
Yeah, it's under the Spreading Seas.
Okay, there's that one, but is there any other?
No, there is not.
Okay.
You can pick up your tickets for VIP room until then, and at 7 p.m. you can pick them up from the stage. VIPs, we close the VIP room at
What did he just
7
play
p.m.
there?
Silver Girl Dept.
Oh. Doesn't even get to draw a card, right?
No. He's doing math though. It feels like he's it feels like he's close to just winning here. I don't know what the image is copying.
Everything other than the Lord of Atlantis.
Siege Rhino.
It's still a Siege Rhino?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the same game as last.
Oh, this is the same game. Okay. Didn't realize that. Well, Siege Rhino
I'm not sure
got
why he's not
teamed up upon.
island walking with his Regery, but
Well, he might just be setting up a 2-turn kill here.
sure.
Right?
There you get a look at these guys. Scout Menard just figure out which 15 cards he'll take out of his deck. I think those. Okay.
Yeah, are they ratings?
So Eric Peters goes on the offensive. Sends in Restoration Angel, sends in Siege Rhino, sends in 2 Kitchen Finks.
So they just realized that he drew a card off that.
Oh, he did draw a card off of the Silver Gill Adept? Whoops.
Figure out what happened.
Remember when we mentioned that a second ago at BDM?
We assumed he did not draw the card of Silver
Well,
Gold,
because it was in fast motion, but yeah.
he did draw the card.
Oh, that's bad.
And now there is some consultation going on with the judges.
That's bad.
Yeah, that's drawn
For
extra
Jonathan,
cards.
that's bad. Jonathan, extra cards is usually a game loss. There are chances for the judge to interpret it, but the normal ruling
Right.
is that it's
And again,
a
it
game
doesn't really look at intent.
No.
doesn't really, you know,
It just looks as if it touched your hand. It's a pretty cold, ruling, but
It could not be drawn. It could be a game.
yeah, there's other
Oh, it could be a
other
game rule
interpretations.
violation,
Yeah,
so it's
totally.
explained
There's
to me,
other ways to do it.
Torpor.
Yeah, there's
Right.
other things also. How
You could
both
tell,
players
you could tell
say.
how I would roll here.
What would you say?
I'd say let's draw extra cards.
Sure.
I mean, that's...
That is the baseline.
Yeah, yeah.
It is. You're right. If you're a judge, that's the baseline. It doesn't mean that it's always the ruling, though.
yeah.
So we'll have to see.
Good news. He only has one card in his hand.
So
So,
he was
interesting.
empty-handed at the time, and so the card he drew is in his hand.
So it's identifiable.
So it's identifiable. They can actually repair
That's
the game
very
state.
good news for Jonathan.
So if there are 2 cards in his hand, then that becomes more difficult. So they did put it back on top. Do they shuffle or do they keep the same card?
Gotta want
It's like, no, you can't put your corporal
Can't
arm
do that there, but but noted. That's pretty funny.
Interesting. So there's the Spellscape. It blocks Siege Rhino.
We have a good old-fashioned creature fight
Yeah,
here.
yeah. This is combat.
Yeah, without life totals, it's hard to say exactly what the crackback situation looks like for Jonathan, but I mean, he's got a big team here. Mero Reedry's pumping up everybody else.
And Lord of Atlantis is pumping up everybody too.
Absolutely.
So he puts the Reedry and the Adept in the way, and that's enough. The producer's like, congratulations, you've passed the blocking portion of the exam. Now we'll go on to the game 3 portion.
All right, so Jonathan picks up the win there.
Yes. So those players will get themselves positioned for game 3, and we are just about ready to go. It looks like Stefan Speck has made a play. Led off with a Tendo Ice Bridge and cast Serum Visions. So we can still tap that for colorless.
Or bounce it, replay
Yeah,
it,
well,
tap it for color later.
He will do that.
That card's cool.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the cool things about this deck is you really get to rummage around in that land box you
Yeah, you
have.
certainly
You know what I
do.
mean? You're like, oh, these cool
Sunhome.
lands. Ah, this card's sweet. You know, you finally get to use all those Karus
It's true.
from those sweet Ravnica drafts.
I think like half of it's in somebody's commander deck too.
Mine.
Yeah. Although not Primeval Tide anymore. but-
No. They made me stop.
So Delver.
Yeah, Delver Secrets. So Delver go. So no Amulet. Just plays it straight.
Yeah. It's playing it straight. Uh-oh. That's not good news for
boy.
Steven. Lightning Bolt is a revealed card too, so
And Lightning Bolt with wings is
Yes.
engaged. I'm going to do 3 to you every turn until you deal with this. Oh, by the way, you probably can't deal with this.
probably can. And I'm going to do 3 more to you at some point. Wow.
Oh, okay.
Well, he's got action here. He's got Azusa as well. It's going to take a while. He needs a Pact. He can get Hive Mind down in a couple turns,
You can
but
have mine down next turn. He can play.
How can he
he can
do
play
that?
Cavern of Souls Azusa,
okay. But
right?
then,
And
yeah.
then play Tendo Ice Bridge
Yes.
and Teleria West.
Yeah, that's only 2 mana.
Okay, so that gives him 5.
How does he?
Because he'll
not
have
next
3.
turn though.
He'll have 3 this turn.
No,
On
but-
his neck, not the
Yeah.
turn coming up, the turn after.
Right, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
yeah,
The turn
yeah.
after he can play it. Probably.
Yeah.
But he needs a Pact.
Yes.
He
Well,
doesn't-
he does have a Teleria West, so depending on what he draws. here.
True. Looks like Pascal wasn't quite finished with.
And he's like, how does Azusa work? Remember, he's holding a lightning bolt.
Right, and Steven Speck knows that.
Yeah.
So he is going to have to make sure that when he plays Azusa, he gets everything he needs out of that card because she probably won't hang around too long. Now, this is a good start for Pascal. Flipping a Delver, knowing everything that he has to deal with, having an answer for one of the more broken cards. This could get bad here for Steven. He has all the tools.
Right.
I mean, Steven, given some time here, he's got the tools, but Pascal's not in the business of giving Steven Speck much time here.
Okay. Fetcher for Island. Do you think Blue-Red Delver uses more clock playing or more clock shuffling?
It's like 50-50.
I don't think it is. All right, Serum Visions. Negate. Yeah, that comes a little more control-y after game one.
But this just gets mean because, you know, when your Insectal Aberration just isn't going to die,
Right.
it's a huge difference than when your opponent can be like, sure, Lightning Bolt that, we'll deal with... Oh! Was that an Amulet off the top?
It is an Amulet off the top.
Oh! That could accelerate things nicely. Gonna make sure that Azusa resolves. Play Azusa. Uh-oh. What do we have here? That Amulet changes everything, by the way. That's like at least a full turn faster. I don't know if he's going to be able to get everything he wants done this turn, though. This deck's hard to play. I don't have this deck. I've never played it myself.
I've played it.
I asked Ben, and he's like, I don't know. I've never played this deck.
So he's like, okay, you've made your drop for the turn.
And then it puts a trigger on the stack. See, normally he would be able to just keep playing lands because it never happens, but Pascal gets to jump right in there.
I would have. I might have played some non-trigger lands first.
Did he have any?
Yeah, he had.
Oh,
I believe he did.
well, see, it's only the tap lands will
Well,
only
once the
trigger
Amulet-
if they have to bounce something. The Amulet's not in play, right?
Right, yeah,
So yeah, like if he plays Teleria West.
I might have played like. Well, I guess he wants to hold on to Teleria West to
Yeah.
find his.
Yeah. Probe you. So Azusa netted a lightning bolt and an extra land drop.
Right.
But man, he wishes he still had that. Negate in hand for Pascal Maynard, and he has a clock, so if he wants, he can also just sit behind the gate and let Steven Speck just try to go off, and you know, even if he finds a way to get that Hive Mind on the stack, Pascal can just counter it. Primeval Titan off the top for Steven Speck. He's got 4 mana.
He's going to transmute
He's just
Teleria
going to
West.
transmute right now. That cannot be interacted with from Pascal. Okay, so he's going to protect his combo for next turn.
That's one of the really beautiful parts about this deck, is being able to transmute for the kill card, but also for something that protects your combo.
Sure.
With Pact Negation, and you end up putting so much mana into play.
He needs another pact to kill Pascal, though. Steven Speck at 14. Well, that wasn't a bad turn for him at all, though. He got to use up his mana, but not in a way that Pascal could interact with, and Pascal did no extra damage to him either. So I think Steven's going to be quite happy with that result. And Pascal's just going to keep passing the turn back here. Serum Visions.
Plays
Name
Cavernous Souls.
Giant.
Yeah. You always name Giant.
I think he named whatever human or whatever before, but
Well, he knew he was picking it up.
yep. So here's Primeval Titan that cannot be countered. Mana Leak not going to get it done. Wow. Steven Speck just gradually moving forward here. Pascal's got to start getting nervous. He hasn't used up much of his mana over the last couple turns. He might have a couple of bolts in hand,
Teleria
though.
West. There's a Simic Growth Chamber. He's going to pick up the Teleria West. So, like, every time you Primeval Titan,
That
you get
is
another.
sick.
You get another tutor.
Right. So remember how I was saying that he needs another pack? Well, there's that. Again, it's just a timing thing. Like, he's got the tools.
Right.
Does he have the time? Menard did nothing last turn outside of play like a Thought Scour or something, and this turn he hasn't done anything yet
Now
at
he's
all.
got a Smash to Smithereens. He's got a Vapor Snag. He's got a Mana Leak.
So he's ready to do some work. Specs at 11.
Speck have enough time.
A flipped Delver as early as possible is doing serious work. It's got in there for 9. Can it finish the job?
mana do you have?
No kidding. The answer is 8.
Yeah. It's like, well, this here, that's my Hive Mind mana. This over here is my transmute for another Pact mana.
Yeah, you're right. And he's got the Pact in his hand, so Menard is actually going to need all 4 mana up. He's going to need to negate, fight over that, and then mana leak so that he can't transmute as well that turn. He'll be able to pay for it. But that's just another whole turn for Menard and his little fly friend there to keep beating down, and it could be all that he needs. Wow.
He's gonna Vapor Snag.
Yeah, that's effectively another damage, and it also means that that Primeval Titan doesn't get to attack and do more shenanigans. Menard's got Smash in his hand. I don't think he's going to actually play it. I hear applause from the feature match area 2.
That's got to be our other match.
Yeah, so that has concluded, though. We don't know who won yet, and we're not going to spoil it.
So Menard gets him down to 7. Sitting on a Smash. Sitting on a Negate.
And a Mana Leak.
Sitting on a Mana Leak.
Ooh, is that Summer Bloom?
It is.
How much mana can he get out of that?
So there's the Amulet.
Now, does this open the door for him to die if it gets smashed here?
Yeah, it does, but remember, he does have...
I know he does. Pact can get negated, though, or mana leak.
He's going to smash.
Oh, no.
That is absolutely getting Pact of Negation.
Oh, he has another one.
Wow. Gotta go get Glimmer Posts, I think, here.
It might just be Glimmer. He's at 4.
Yeah.
He's dead to any burn spell, as it says.
And he's gonna have to pay for Pact of Negation, because... Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, he pacted, right? Because Pascal said
Oh,
that
wait,
resolves.
no, but the...
No, he let it resolve.
Okay.
And
Oh,
then
he
he
did,
played
yes,
another
yes. Okay,
copy.
there you
That's
go.
why he did that.
Right.
So here he is back up to 8 thanks to the Glimmer Post. Wow, this is a close game. Imagine if Pascal didn't have the flip Delver that early.
Yeah, of course.
I think Steven would just be completely going off. All right, and he's got Gruul Turf to pick up the Glimmer Post to keep the life flowing here.
Yes.
This is getting crazy. And there's the dice. I was wondering if the dice was going to come out. There it is.
All right, Serum Visions. Draws a Delver.
Finds a Delver. He's got the Mana Leak and the Gate. He's going to go top bottom. Couldn't see what it was.
Pushes a Delver. I don't know what card he capped.
Okay.
It's like, all right, I've got you to 5. 5's a
Back to 5.
That's a long way away. There's a lot of mana when he untaps. He's going to gain some more life from the post.
Yep.
So a couple of, I think Justin Cohen is playing a version of his deck. He was playing Radiant Fountains instead of the Glimmer Posts.
Okay. Yeah, the Glimmer Post can get copied and you can get 3 life per if they all come in at the same time, but it gets a little tricky. But that Primeval Titan could probably do that. I can get Vesuva, especially if he plays the post first, so he'll gain 2 from that, and then the other Vesuva will come in and gain him 3. That's 5 in one turn.
Pro Tour Fate Reforged coming up, Modern. Will some of the pro teams pick up Amulet decks?
I think they'll be noting it, you know, and there's a ban and restricted announcement coming too that could flip things on their head a bit, but I mean, this deck's pretty impressive. It's been quite resilient. A very good start here for Menard, and Steven Speck is still in it.
Yeah, Delver Secrets comes up. He's like, you know what? I might need to absorb a point of damage. It's possible, but I need to absorb a point of damage.
I'm curious. Well, it's absolutely possible. I mean, remember, because one of the ways that Steven Speck's deck can win is he can use that Sunhome to give the Primeval Titan double strike, and he can just kill Menard. In fact, I think he actually has that play.
The problem is everything's going to come into play tapped.
Right,
he needs the Amulet for that
because
to
he
work.
lost his Amulet, right?
So plays the Glimmer Post, attacks with Primeval
Right, so
Titan.
Glimmer Post gains him 2. Attacks with Primeval Titan. Has not played a land yet.
Oh, no, he did. He played the Glimmer Post.
Oh, he already played it first?
Yeah, he played it
Okay,
first.
sorry.
He
Yep.
played one.
That's my mistake. Whoa.
Wow. Primeval Titan bumps into the camera rig.
That's what happens
as it
when
rumbles into the red
Primeval
zone.
attacks. It's not small. It's got trample.
It's a giant.
Yeah. Happily named. No treasure cruises yet for Menard, right?
No. Speck can
Speck
go
is
to
really
10
doing
here
some
on a
math here.
Vesuva.
He can go to 10 on a Vesuva.
And he could pick up a Glimmer Post as well.
He could go bounce land Vesuva.
And
That's
what he
exactly
does.
what he did. Now this is interesting because we also have to keep an eye on this. This is going to drop Menard down to 5.
Oh, yeah.
Like, if Speck can just keep his life total afloat, this Primeval Titan will just kill Pascal. Like, he's just racing him. So he played Vesuva, back up to 10, picked up Vesuva. What does he have here? He's transmuting.
For Pact
He's
of
going to get
Negation.
Pact of Negation.
He's like, I just want,
This
I
is
need
bolt,
something.
bolt back up here.
Yeah.
Because he knows that, and maybe even a card like Void, excuse me, like Snare, that could get him too. Wow, I think he's actually in really good spot here.
He might be summer blooming here to
To gain more life?
gain more life.
You're right, he could totally do that, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer bloom.
And he's going to get negated, or maybe even mana leaked, depending on if he has any mana floating. It's always hard to see in these scenarios.
He's like, does it resolve?
Wow, he can fight over it too. Look at him. Based on body language, I think Steven Speck is going to win this game. I mean, Menard's just thinking, like, it's not that, is it? There we go.
Yeah. The hand to forehead ratio
Right, just-
favors Steven Speck.
If you're watching at home, just screenshot that and ask me who's winning.
Okay, so we are going to see the mana leak. And I think this is going to, yep. Oh,
Oh,
he's going
we
to
can
pay for
pay
it
for
with
it.
Simeon's Spirit Guide.
Oh, man.
Plays
Wow.
Vesuva, gains 3 life.
He played Vesuva and gains 3 more. He's now at 13. Even, and remember, Menard knows what the top card of his library is. Even if it's something that flips Delver, he's still well clear of anything. Unless it's Treasure Cruise. Which it is.
Obviously.
Uh-oh. This could get interesting. So he takes 6 here,
Well,
goes
he's gonna,
to 7.
I mean, you're going to counter the Treasure Cruise here, I think.
I don't know if you need to. Maybe you do. Maybe you just cut him off at the Treasure Cruise. I mean, he only has 1 unknown card in hand if you're Speck. So if you counter this, even if it's a Lightning Bolt, like, you're still fine. Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So he can negate this, but he needs to find, what, Bolt? 3, 6, 9, plus 6?
Well, he's trying to see if he can.
Oh, plus 5. He needs to find 2 bolts. 3, 6, 9, 12. No, he needs to find all 3. He can't even cast them though. I don't think he has any outs here. I guess bouncing the Primeval Titan would buy him a turn. That could certainly do it. Let's see what he finds. Wow, what a great game.
It looks like he found a Goblin Guide.
Goblin Guide and a pair of lands. Is Amulet Bloom going to be in the finals here?
I hope so. What?
Goblin Guard?
Goblin Guide is a decent blocker.
Well, that one does.
Just actually the guy. He
He
needs,
can leaf back both aberrations to double block, not die, and kill the Primeval Titan.
So the pact was negated, right?
The pact was negated so that the Treasure Cruise could resolve,
Right.
so he doesn't have
So
to pay.
let's see.
Oh, it's another one. This one doesn't have haste or anything though, and there's still no amulet in play, so he can't give it haste.
Yeah, but he still gets a land drop, right? He hasn't made his land drop for the turn. Next turn. So Boros Garrison, Sun Home Fortress, picks up, I guess he picked up a Glimmer Post.
You got to just pick up a Glimmer Post.
Yeah, which is, I think he did.
Yeah, he certainly did.
Standings after this rounds have been posted.
I think you just send them right in there.
Please take a look. Wow. These standings are provisional. They will be final in 3 minutes. If you notice,
They're making sure that he paid for his pact, but he didn't actually have to because it got negated.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. He's like, yeah, I did pay for my pact over here.
Why? Why did he have to pay? He didn't pay for his pact.
No.
He shouldn't have had to pay for it, right?
Yeah, I guess. I'm just saying
he has to resolve to have to pay for
yeah.
it, right? So he got negated. All right, whatever. Gain some life.
Go to 14.
Wow, those glimmer posts doing serious work.
He's like, oh, I hear you'd like to kill my Primeval Titan with a double block.
Yawn.
Go get a Teleria West, go get a Karoo, pick up Teleria
If he has any
West.
left. Hey, he still has one.
Yeah.
Double block. Resolves.
I think he has to pick up
The happiest double
he
block
has to
of
pick
Steven
something up
Speck's
from the
life.
Gruul Turf.
Did he not?
I don't think he did.
Feels like he might not have. There it is.
There you go. Picks up the Teleria West, which is what he wanted to do in the first place.
Yep.
So he wants to tutor for another counter spell, if need be.
And there's no way Menard can get out of this. 14 he has to do, and he can't even attack.
I won't lie to you. I'm rooting for Steven Speck.
You're kind of happy here.
I won't lie to you. I like Pascal. He's appeared in my column a number of times. He's a great guy. The hell with this deck. I'm rooting for Amulet.
You're rooting for Amulet Bloom. I think if Pascal was playing Amulet Bloom, you'd be rooting for him. This deck.
Pascal is, scratching and clawing here, though. Still feels there's some path he can take.
Super Sunday Series competitors. At this point, standings are final. You qualified for the
How much mana can Steven Speck make?
I can't count that high. I also just can't see it all.
At the table in
Pascal taps the top of his
15,
deck.
16, 17, 18. He has 20 mana in play.
It's not bad. This is going to be game. That's it. Pascal
Wow.
Menard extends.
Steven Speck advances to the finals. And so we don't know who won between Eric Peters and Jonathan Patan. We have a turbo game here. Game 3, Turbo, Curse Catcher versus Birds of Paradise, Echoing Truth to 2 birds, one land hand here.
Uh-oh.
Kira Great Glass Spinner. The 2 birds are in play. Tidebinder Mage takes down one of them.
Wow, he's just crimping his mana at every step here. That's also colorless mana from the Township, which is going to be tough for Eric.
Oh!
Is that choke?
That is a choke!
But that still doesn't do anything against the creatures. That just might be too late here. Sure, it's great against the islands, but who cares? That's not his main problem right now. You have to get that out
Yeah,
early.
but he got the ambush there.
Oh, Kira just ran into an angel.
Yeah, Positive of Blade.
Oh,
Uh-oh. I think I know how
choke's
this is
starting to
going.
look a little better.
Choked it all away.
Wow, Restoration Angel.
It looks like Eric Peters with Obzon Pod, the traditional tentpole deck of the format, will be advancing to the finals to play awesome, amazing Steven Speck and his wonderful Amulet Bloom deck. He said completely objectively.
Completely unbiased. Wow, so we have our finals, and I am shocked that Amulet Bloom has made it this far. It seems like such an inconsistent deck, but there it is.
But you saw, I mean, that was actually, I mean, it's not like Pascal Menard had a bad draw against him at all.
He flipped a Delver.
He flipped a Delver on turn 1. He had plenty of answers. He had counter magic. He had 2 Smash to Smithereens for the Amulet. But, you know, how the hell can you beat a Glimmer Post?
Yeah, or the same Glimmer Post 6 times, as it were.
All right, so we're getting ready to come up on the finals. We're going to take a break. We're going to bring in our Hall of Famer to talk about all the action. And before you know it, we're going to have a Grand Prix Omaha champion.